I knew that I wanted to focus primarily in our market first because there's a lot of businesses that were untapped. And so there was a large opportunity there. And so I decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to join different like boards and networking groups and that kind of thing that are going to add the most value. And so I picked ones that have like my ideal clients in them and then started with that. Because while that's not like traditional marketing in the sense of Facebook ads and everything, that still counts in getting brand awareness and everything there. It has been fully word of mouth until we just finally started doing some marketing internally about a month and a half ago.
Okay.
So through that, it was all word of mouth and really leaning into that local aspect. That being said, for businesses that aren't trying to be as local based and are wanting to be serving customers that are more online and finding them there, that would be where avenues like if you're doing business to business kind of marketing, then like LinkedIn is really great for reaching people there,
Mhm.
or doing Facebook and more like traditional advertising would kind of help with that initial startup of building like your plate of clients. But ultimately, if you're trying to decide whether to hire internally or hire an agency or a freelancer or that kind of thing, when you hire internally, one thing that I often reference is like, it's kind of like asking one person to build a house for you. And so is the person that's doing the blueprints also going to be pouring the concrete? And are they also going to be framing and finishing and doing everything there? And you might be able to find one person that can do that, but that's going to be really, really rare to find someone that's actually good at all of it
Mhm.
and that understands how to put all the pieces together. And so when you're hiring someone internally, if you know you have like social media and a couple things that are related, that can sustain them, I think that's great. And if they can be committed and be in there. But a lot of the times people don't have the wide set of skills like that, where
Mhm.
it's like you don't have that one person building the house. And people a lot of times lump marketing and everything together, but typically that person's going to need help, whether it's with the strategy aspect or with like ad campaigns or different parts there. So if you're able to sustain that person in-house for different parts, I think that's great. But a lot of the times we've seen people have needed to like supplement it there to find and kind of look across and see from your industry who kind of mimics, because it comes down to like Target's really reaching different people than like you guys are and across the board. And so defining someone who has that same target audience or someone within that can really help so that like it's easier to relate that to your business. A lot
Yeah.
of the times people try and like reinvent the wheel by doing something like totally different that no one's ever done. And while that's like great to explore, if you're first starting out, I would definitely, you'll save a lot of time and money if you look at someone that does it really well and look at how you can apply that to your business and how you can pivot off of that. And that's a lot easier than trying to like come up with this whole new business model, whole new angle and everything.
Mhm.
Whereas if you can build off of like what's already there and make it your own, that's great. Example, like if you're business to business in a lot of situations, like TikTok probably isn't going to be worth your like investment initially. And so that's really different for big companies that are well established and everything. But thinking about like where are you going to be reaching those like business leaders? Where are you going to be connecting with them? And that's where I'd probably look at like LinkedIn more, or doing Facebook. You can target off of a lot of demographics. So looking there. And so kind of going back to like who is that like ideal kind of person and prioritizing what's worth your time for where you're at.